paparazzi.
Alright, this is Paparazzi here to give an interview with Samuel Braga. I got a quick couple questions I want to ask you. First thing I want to know is how's everything going right now with you, and how are things going with your school?
Everything's going well. I'm training every day and my conditioning. The school is doing amazing. It's growing every single day. Really happy with the results so far.
Cool. There's a new year and there's a lot of big tournaments on their way. Do you yourself plan on competing in these tournaments this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what keeps me motivated to train. If I think that I don't think I will ever retire.
Just go on forever, huh? That's what I love about this sport. It's one thing that you can do for a really long time, especially since it revolves more technique than speed and strength and stuff like that. It seems like one of those arts that you can continue throughout your whole life. Another question I wanted to ask right now, it seems like you've accomplished pretty much everything you could do in Jiu-Jitsu almost. Is there any big goals out there that you haven't accomplished yet, or things that you're still wanting and desiring to do that you haven't done yet?
Well, my goal is always be improving, as a person and also in Jiu-Jitsu in general. So the competition is just extra motivation to improve my game.
So recently, in an article in Gracie Mag, they're giving a lot of credit to the Berimbolo, to the Mendes Brothers. Isn't it true that you've been doing that long before them?
Yeah, I've been doing since 2003. I've been doing De La Riva since I started in 2001, and I developed the Berimbolo in 2002, 2003. And as you can see in these videos, it's a fact. I used it in 2005 was the first time I was world champion.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, the Mendes Brothers were blue belt. So if I accomplish the world championship as a black belt using the Berimbolo, how they can be the trademark, So it's just a fact. If you go to the results 2005, you're gonna see Guilherme Mendes being a blue belt. In 2005, you can find several videos. I'm competing at those videos using the Berimbolo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, it's just fact.
It's not something they trademarked. It's more likely something that you did. So let me ask you this. Why do you think they were given credit for making this move popular over you?
I think the Mendes Brothers are really smart. They're really good in marketing themselves. Also because the fact that they compete a lot. They compete more often than I do. The matter of fact that that I have to teach. I have my own school, so I'm really busy. But they focus a lot on competition. They compete more, so they have more exposure. So that's why I think they somehow they got more exposed.
Just a matter of being in the spotlight more.
Yeah.
So did it upset you when you saw this article on Gracie Mag that was giving kind of credit to something you felt like you were doing for a longer time?
No, it's just like I don't get upset. I just think that have to be truthful. Have to be honest about everything. I'm not gonna tell someone that I did something that I have not done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be honest about everything. And I think, in fact, if I want to be honest, I want to be honest with the fact that I came up with the technique. I've been doing for a long time. And matter of fact, you can see all the world championships from 2005 until today. I've been using the Berimbolo every single tournament.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I've been using while they were white belts. So it doesn't make any sense.
Where did you learn this move from, or how did you develop it?
I started to develop when I was using when a person to the back step.
Mm-hmm. And
I was having a hard time. Everybody was counter that by posting the arm. They would not allow me to control the arm, so I could do the roll back and finish the sweep.
Mm-hmm.
So I start to work with getting their back from there. As I could not get a hold of the arm, so I can sweep them back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Have they taken it and develop it further? Do you think, or are they pretty much doing it the same way you've always done it?
Well, get all my fights, all my matches, and compare the Berimbolo. You can see for yourself if there's any improvement. Okay. The one thing that I think they did, I think they not can do. I think was actually Rafael Mendes did. he had actually add the fact of getting the leg drag. He combined the leg drag with the berimbolo.
Okay.
That I think was a really good add to the game.
So I want to ask you one more question. This is kind of based off last year. I remember doing an article when you faced Guy Mendes in a very what I feel controversial match where I felt like you won and he ended up getting the win after a very controversial call. Um, I have a question: is there any bad blood between you and Guy Mendes? Is there like kind of a rivalry based on just because y'all face each other a lot, or is there any personal rivalries, or what's going on with you two?
No, I don't see anything personal at all. You just two athletes, with the same goal to be a champion, and you're in each other's way. That's it. It's just a professional thing. There's nothing personal at all. I want to be a champion. You want to be a champion. You're gonna fight really hard to be a champion. That's it.
Have you had any extra thoughts about that last time y'all faced off? Do you still feel like you were pretty much robbed of that victory?
Man, actually, I think he. I don't know. It's hard to tell because I watched so many times, and I still think that it's amazing how I can be trying to escape if I'm attacking his back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How I'm gonna try to bail if I'm going for his back. And in the end of the match, I've got two hooks in and going for a choke.
Yeah, and actually
That doesn't make sense.
in the video breakdown, I actually broke down each video in one of the articles that I'll post up. But it shows they said that you were rolling out of the mat, that it was you. But every time you ever even did a roll, you rolled towards the end towards the mat, and he was the one that kept rolling out of the mat. He was kind of attacking your foot while rolling out of the mat, and then you were moving forward only to attack his back. So it's really confusing how the referee saw that, and how they scored it that way.
If it was the entire mat, if you put this way, if it was the entire mat was being used, I was going to get his back and choke him out.
For sure.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I was just rolling out of boundaries, I do admit I was trying to escape. But how I'm trying to escape from foot attack if I'm getting his back?
Yeah. In fact, I do believe there's a few times where you've done that exact move when someone's gone for the foot and you ended up taking their back. Is that true?
Yeah, I did several times. Actually, in 2007 against Bernardo Pitel,
Yeah.
I did the same move. He went for a foot lock and I got his back.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So, let me ask you this. So, does that kind of carry on? Does that kind of motivate you to face off against him again this year?
Well, every year I train hard. Every year I do my best to be a champion. If he's on my bracket, my side of my bracket, if I face him in the finals, that's what I have to do. Just do my job. Grass grows, birds fly, and I'm there to compete and to win. That's it.
I know I for sure can't wait to see that rematch. Y'all always have a really good showing.
Actually, edit that.
So tell me now personally though, what's going on? Man, that seems pretty badass, dude.
So yeah, this year you're gonna get there. You're gonna be ready for it.
Dude, that's really cool. All right, so look, I gotta re-ask this question again because we gotta edit that out. So we're gonna back up since you're dropping the ball and giving away information.
Yeah, it's just like my ace.
So, is there anything that is going on right now that you want to say to your fans, or any seminars that you have coming up, or anything like that?
Yeah, I have a couple seminars. I have this weekend one in Chicago. I'm gonna be there in Chicago training with my friends and also teaching. The following weekend I'm gonna be in Michigan. February I'm gonna be probably competing. That's about it.
All right, man. So is there anything else that you want to say before we wrap this interview up?
Well, I would like to thank everyone. Thank you, Paparazzi, for allowing his time with his family today and spare some time to do an interview.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate all the support always. And like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank Torculino, everyone, Gracie Rag, Texas, for all the support. Always when I'm there, I have always a great time in Texas. And that's it, guys. Thank you for everyone.
All right, brother. Thanks. Take care.